Hi, blessings and shalom. I really don't want to document this part because this is a very humbling part of my journey. I have recorded a few videos along the way to get to the state that I was told that I could move to. And I prayed before I left because I had my house, my rent was paid through the end of the month, and I had heard the Lord tell me to leave by the 15th instead of the 31st, which is what the letter from the landlord had originally stated. So the morning of the 15th, I woke up very peacefully, and I decided, without seeking the Lord first, that I wanted to stay. I don't know how long I wanted to stay. I don't know if it was going to be another day or if it was going to be up until the 31st. I just knew that I didn't want to be rushed and leave that day. But I was reminded by a friend that the Lord did tell me to leave on the 15th. So I did everything that I had to do in the house, and I ultimately got on the road at 8:20 Eastern Time. And along the way, there was some things that happened that would have normally discouraged me, but because I continued to pray and seek the Lord for help and guidance and protection and provision, I was able to get through those things. But once I made it into Texas, it seemed like that was the longest portion of the entire drive for me personally. It might have just been because I was fatigued and tired of driving and just tired. Anyways, since I got to cross the border from Arkansas to Texas, I became extremely tired, very fatigued, and I don't know, I felt like my rear end was hurting. I have Rosebud with me, and I felt like I was being a bad dog mom by making her travel for so long and so far. There were a lot of signs along the way, and I know we're not supposed to seek for signs or anything like that, but there were signs that I was given by the Lord to show me that I was on the right path. And I was still excited. But some things happened and the plans that I had changed. I was supposed to stay with a friend, but my estimated time of arrival was going to be like midnight. So I don't know why I tried to push as hard as I could to drive as long and as far as I possibly could, but it got to the point where the last 3 or 4 hours that I had left showing on the map to get to where I was supposed to go, I was gripping the wheel, white knuckling it, back and neck were tense. I was extremely hungry because I had stopped for food here and there, but it was like when I could get gas and use the restroom so that there wasn't any added stops. I made really good time, but then when I got to about an hour outside of where I was supposed to be, I just decided, like, Lord, I can't go anymore. I need to pull over and please provide a hotel. Please provide some guidance on what I'm supposed to do here. And even though there was a whole row of hotels, I called them and they didn't care that I have a written letter from the VA stating that Rosebud is my emotional support animal. And so basically I found one hotel that was kind of a higher price, but still like within my budget, I guess. So I drove over there after getting food, and when I went in to check in, I used my card, and the screen on the I don't even know what it's called right now, the where you tap or swipe or insert your card, it said approved. But then the guy behind the counter said that it didn't work and that I needed to do it again, or that there was some other charge that had to be separate or something. I don't even know. I can't remember. I was so tired that it felt like my legs were gonna buckle and not hold me up anymore. So I went to insert my card again, and it was declined 3 times. So, because I have a very strange bank account that seems to be only for the Kentucky area, there's no phone numbers to contact to check the balance, to check, any fraud. There's none of the regular support that bigger banks have. And on top of that, they had just recently switched to a different app. And I had registered through the app many times, but for some reason, it would always tell me that it was incorrect username or password. So I tried the thing that says put in your email and then it will send you a reminder or a reset link, and nothing came through. I wound up sleeping in the car that night. Funny enough, it must have been God's will, because the city that I was in was called Humble. And if that wasn't the most humbling experience I've had in a very long time, I don't know what was. But so, slept in the car, ate, rested, whatever, situated myself, and by the time it was like 4 or 5 in the morning, there was a little bit more light out, so it was a bit easier to see on the road. And I felt like I had enough energy to at least push through for another hour or two. So I did. And when I got into the area that I was supposed to be in, I went to an ATM and I was able to check my account. Saw that I did have more than enough funds, just like I thought, so I was confused as to why it was declined. Contacted the bank as soon as they opened, after I had some rest, of course. But I don't want to get into personal details because it involves other people and not just me, but I felt that the Lord was leading me to not stay with a friend and to allow Him to guide me and lead me each step of the way. And I kept hearing one foot in front of the other. However, by the time I got to the next hotel, I checked in and no problem, card worked. That was before I contacted the bank too, so they did try to tell me that the reason for it being declined was because I didn't let them know that I was going to be traveling out of the state. But that's kind of sus, because it got approved for one thing, got declined 3 times for another thing, and then was approved an hour or 2 away from where I had been declined without me even speaking to the bank yet. So I got the hotel, and because of the time that I checked in, it was going to give me that whole day and night, and then checkout would be the next day at noon. So I slept almost the entire day that I checked in. I can't remember the date right now. I want to say it was the 16th maybe, or 17th. I want to say it was like Friday. Today is Tuesday the 21st. Once I got comfortable in that bed, I did not want to get out of it, and I already knew that I wasn't supposed to stay at this friend's house. So I let them know, and I still had enough funds that I could get the hotel for another couple of nights. I did it day by day though, because I did not want to run out of funding. The entire time after I had rested, I was like searching for shelters for veterans, different housing agencies and rental assistance agencies. I was having a very hard time with praying and seeking the Lord for his answers and his guidance, because I just felt literally done. I don't even know another word for it. I just felt physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually done. And probably not the smartest thing to do, because I still should have been seeking the Lord on what his will was for me, because maybe I wouldn't be in the situation that I currently am in now. But I know that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, and I do love him, and I know that he knows that I love him, and that I will always give him all the glory, honor, and praise. And I don't know. There's a few things that are kind of good, but at the same time, it's still a situation where I get paid a certain time of the month, and so I drove out here thinking that I was going to have a place to stay for at least 2 weeks until the 1st, which is the move-in date. And since that wasn't in God's plans for me, I contacted the place that I am supposed to move into on the 1st, and I asked them, is there any possible way that I can move in sooner? One of the blessings is that my former landlord, who did not want to renew my lease, did send me my deposit, which I'm extremely grateful for. I was not expecting it. And so I thought, okay, somehow I can come up with the rest of the money to move in. It can't be as much as if I move in on the 1st, because it's only like a week and a half or 2 weeks tops that I would need to move in early. They called me back today and said that I can move in on Friday, but it's going to be X amount of dollars, and unfortunately, with the amount of money that I spent on hotels and gas and food, I do not have that amount. So I don't know if I'll be able to move in on Friday. However, if I am able to move in on Friday, I would be paying a lot less to move in with the deposit that I have to pay to move in, and also the rent for August would be nothing. I wouldn't pay rent until September 1st. So that will be a huge blessing if I can get that to happen. I thought about driving around and door dashing for the extra couple $100, because I have no problem with working, but on the drive here, my car reached 207,000 miles, and now it's getting up there. So, and I have Rosebud. So getting in and out of the vehicle and leaving her in the vehicle is just not really an option, because she has separation anxiety. But I came to the VA. I went to the VA Resource Center earlier, and I got a list of shelters and temporary housing and stuff like that, and everything on the list was full or not accepting intakes. One of them was refurbishing, remodeling, something like that, so they didn't have any availability at all. So from there, I drove to the VA hospital. The VA hospital. And I just walked in and was looking for social work. They had already closed for the day, so I went to the emergency department, and they set me up with a social worker there. She was super nice and told me that I could stay in the VA, in the emergency department waiting room, even with Rosebud in the crate. But I'm making the decision to stay in the vehicle because I have control of the air conditioning so I don't freeze. I have the ability to lay the seat back a little bit if I want to try to be more comfortable and sleep, because veterans can pretty much sleep anywhere, but I would prefer not to sleep sitting up, and I don't want them to tell me anything if I decide to lay on the floor. I know it's gross, but I don't care. I've been in jail, I've been in institutions, I've been on the streets homeless without a car, so that doesn't bother me at all. So where I'm at right now is, it is very late at night. I've been sitting here already for probably 5 hours or so. I keep going in and out to use the restroom, to take Rosebud for a walk and use the restroom. But as the social worker was running to grab me another sandwich, she came back and was trying to talk to me, and I had just received a phone call. Apparently, one of the agencies that I had applied to online while I was in the hotel finally called me back, and they said that there is an agency that they're affiliated with that can potentially assist me with the move-in costs to move in on Friday. I'm not gonna get my hopes up because that's just how I am. I do feel a lot more hopeful that something will happen, because I was not expecting to get any calls back at all. But I don't know, we'll see. I wasn't supposed to move until the 1st, so I'm probably going to have to wait and hear from this agency that can potentially help me with the financial cost of getting in there early. And then I have to call the utilities company and see if that's even possible for them to move the date up as well. Because right now I have utilities set to be turned on the 31st in my name. So that's where I'm at. I'm hungry, I'm tired. Rosebud's fed up. She now has, what I found the other day is there was a couple of fleas in her nose area. I tried to get them. I actually thought that it was a tick, but it moved really fast, and I contacted her holistic vet, and she referred me to get a flea and tick collar. So that was about $75. It's just like, I don't know. every time I say I feel like I can't take any more, more comes, more shows up. I thought I was humbled enough, or the most I could possibly be humbled, that night that my card got declined in a city called Humble. But I am very quickly finding out that the Lord is still humbling me and making sure that I am relying completely on Him. And that's another reason I think that He gave me the feeling or the word that I shouldn't stay with my friend, because I already knew from the beginning, before I even left the old house, that He said He's doing a new thing in me, and basically whatever is going to be done is only going to be able to show that He, or prove that He did it, not anybody else, no man. So I don't even know what that means. Like, I have to pray about it still, because if He's doing something, then maybe I'm not supposed to take help from this agency. But maybe that's part of what He's helping me to do. I don't know. I'll find out. But I just pray that Rosebud and I are safe, that the VA police don't harass me tonight or tell me I have to leave. I have less than a quarter tank of gas, which I don't ever do. I usually keep my car at a half a tank or higher. And like I said, I have 207,000 miles on it now, so I'm a little like, okay, God, please keep it running, because I need the AC. It's 102 degrees and it's 22:13, 10:13 at night. So I don't really care about the AC for me. I don't care about being on the streets for me, but Rosebud is, she just seems she's happy to be with me, but at the same time, it's like I can tell that she is miserable and she just wants to be comfortable. She did perk up when we were in the hotel, and she was jumping around and she was jumping around and happy and everything. So I know that once we get settled in the new place, she's going to be jumping around and happy, and I'll be able to give her a flea bath and shave her again or get her groomed. But right now I just feel like a horrible dog mom, a horrible person, a horrible friend. And I don't even know if I'm really that good of a daughter to the Lord God Almighty, the Most High, our Father in heaven. But I'm trying, and that's the best that I can do. And yeah, I didn't want to share any of this because it is really, really hard. But you know, sometimes people need to see the struggles in between the blessings, because we have to continuously fix our eyes on the Lord. We have to continuously be in an attitude of gratitude and thanksgiving. excuse me, especially in the storm, not just in the blessings. You know, one of my favorite verses is James 1 and 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. So, I am in... Oh, and then also earlier, the Lord led me to Romans 12. I had seen it multiple places, and then all of a sudden I went to open up my notes to type out a prayer to the Lord, and one of my old notes that was pinned at the top of it said Romans 12. I was like, okay, all right, that's the third time that I've seen it. So I read it, and it said something about being patient in tribulation and instant in prayer. And there was a lot more that I got out of it. I might share at a later date, but right now I'm like a sitting duck because I have the lights on and I just want to turn it off, and I have to go back inside and use the restroom. So I don't know if this will get uploaded or not, but I'm documenting because I felt that the Lord wanted me to document that I am in a very low place right now. But even though I'm in a low place, I still have His protection, His love, and His guidance. And Rosebud is sleeping soundly right now, and I'm just praying that this storm doesn't really build up, because I was afraid to be in Kentucky anymore because of the fact that we had tornadoes touch down really, really close to where we lived. But now I'm facing the fact that there is a hurricane potentially brewing. So I know that there's a verse in the Bible that says, like, that you will see these things and hear these things, but they shall not come nigh thee. I'm praying, Lord, please, don't let it come nigh me. Don't let it come near us. But if it does, I'm sure that the Lord will make a way and we won't die in that, because there's obviously more that the Lord has for me to do. Otherwise, He wouldn't have gotten me this far. He did not bring me this far to let me fall or fail. And I mean this far in life. But on top of that, an 18-hour drive, you know, nothing went on with the car, nothing broke down, no flat tire, no nothing, and nobody bothered me, and I felt protected and safe and guided the whole entire time. So I just have to remember that if the Lord is for me, God is for us, who can be against us? The only person I think I have against me is myself. But with that, I am going to be quiet because I have a massive headache. I have to use the restroom again. I'm hungry, and I don't know what else to say. And these glasses need to be fixed because they're not fitting properly. Good old VA glasses. All right, so may the Lord bless you, keep you, and make His face to shine upon you. Shalom and God bless.